Elon Musk's new bodyguard Ryan worked in perfect silence for 3 months, until that evening. When Elon mentioned tweeting about the bin Laden operation, Ryan stopped him. "I'd advise against tweeting about that operation, sir." "Why?" Ryan took a deep breath. "Because I was there. Welcome to the human stories." Before we dive into the most insane encounter between the world's richest man and a ghost from America's most classified mission, smash that subscribe button because this story will blow your mind. And tell me in the comments, have you ever met someone who wasn't who they seemed? Austin, Texas, March 15th, 2024, 9:47 p.m. Elon Musk sat in his Tesla Gigafactory office, scrolling through Twitter drafts on his phone. The factory floor below hummed with Model Y production. But up here, everything was quiet except for his fingers clicking on the screen. Ryan Mitchell stood by the door, as he had every evening for 3 months. 6'2", athletic build, early 40s, clean-shaven, alert eyes that never rested. He wore the standard black suit, but somehow made it look more professional, more dangerous. Musk had hired Ryan through elite security consulting. Impeccable references, former military background. The resume was clean. 2008-2015, United States Navy. Top secret clearance, specialty, executive protection. Nothing unusual. But Ryan was different. He never made small talk, never asked for selfies, never seemed impressed by rockets, robots, or billions of dollars. He watched, listened, stayed invisible. "Ryan," Musk said without looking up, "what do you think about this tweet?" First time in 3 months Musk had asked Ryan's opinion on anything non-security related. Ryan stepped forward, maintaining distance. "What's the tweet about, sir?" Musk showed his phone. 13 years ago today, justice was served in Abbottabad. Sometimes the good guys win. The real heroes never seek credit. Hashtag never forget. Hashtag bin Laden. Ryan's expression didn't change, but something shifted in his posture. Almost imperceptible, but Musk noticed. He'd built his fortune reading micro-expressions. "Sir," Ryan said carefully, "I'd advise against tweeting about that operation." Musk's finger hovered over post. "Why? It's historical fact. Public knowledge. Because some operations are better left unmentioned, even in tribute. You seem to know a lot about military operations. Your file says Navy, but it's light on details. Most military files are light on details, sir. This is different. You're talking like you have personal knowledge." Ryan remained motionless. "I have respect for the operators who conducted that mission." Musk stood, pacing to the windows overlooking production. His mind raced. 3 months of subtle signs. The way Ryan moved through rooms, checked corners, positioned for exit routes. Where exactly? Musk turned back toward Ryan. "What does that mean?" "Certain operations require operators to go places that officially don't exist, to do things that officially never happened." "Like the bin Laden compound?" Ryan's jaw tightened. "Like many places, sir." Musk had interviewed hundreds of military contractors. SpaceX worked with Defense Department, generals, admirals, special operations personnel. He'd developed instincts for recognizing real operators versus wannabes. Ryan had every marker. "Your clearance level, top secret, isn't the highest, is it?" "No, sir." "What level did you actually have?" "Sir, I'd prefer not to discuss classified matters." "Even from years ago?" "Especially from years ago." Musk picked up his phone, looking at the unsent tweet. "I've learned the most interesting people say the least about themselves." "Interesting is relative, sir. Right now, I'm more interested in my bodyguard's background than Mars colonization. That's saying something." Ryan maintained professionalism, but Musk saw calculation behind his eyes, a decision being weighed. "Sir, may I speak freely?" "Always." "That operation you're tweeting about changed everything, not just for America, but for everyone involved. Some of us came back different." "Some of us." Ryan realized his slip. "Some operators. In general." Musk deleted the draft. "Ryan, sit down." I prefer to stand, sir. That wasn't a request. First time Ryan hesitated before following orders. He moved to the chair, but remained on edge, ready to move. 3 months ago, I ran a background check. Everything checked out perfectly. Too perfectly. Ryan said nothing. Know what I do when something seems too perfect? I dig deeper. Had my people look into your service record. Ryan's breathing changed slightly. Your Navy records are almost entirely classified. 7 years, virtually nothing available. That's not normal for regular Navy. Some roles require higher classification, like SEAL Team 6, like DevGru, like units that conduct operations that officially never happened. Factory noise grew louder in the silence. Ryan stared ahead, training kicking in. Never confirm, never deny, never reveal. I'm not asking you to violate oaths, but be honest. Were you part of something bigger? Ryan looked directly at Musk. Every man who's served has been part of something bigger than himself. That's a politician's answer. It's a soldier's answer. When you advised against tweeting, were you speaking from general knowledge or personal experience? Ryan was quiet for nearly a minute. Mr. Musk, some questions can't be answered directly. Because of classification? Because of honor. Whose honor? Men who can't speak for themselves. Men who died on operations, barely perceptible nod. And men who lived but promised to stay silent. Another slight nod. Have you ever killed anyone? Yes. In service to your country? Yes. Musk moved to his bar cart, poured 2 whiskeys. Offered one to Ryan. I don't drink on duty, sir. When was the last time you weren't on duty? May 2nd, 2011. Musk froze. That's very specific. It was a very specific day. That's when bin Laden was killed. Ryan's silence was more powerful than words. Musk set down his glass. I've spent my life around extraordinary people. Engineers landing rockets on platforms. Scientists reading thoughts with chips. But you might be the most extraordinary person I've ever met. I'm just a security guard, sir. No, you're not. We both know it. Musk pulled out a tablet, scrolled through files. Operation Neptune Spear, May 1st, 2nd, 2011. 24 Navy SEALs from DevGru. Classified mission to Abbottabad, Pakistan. Objective, capture or kill Osama bin Laden. Result, target eliminated, no American casualties. He looked up. How many people were in that compound? I wouldn't know, sir. Official report says 24 operators. If that's what the report says. Reports don't always tell the whole story. Reports tell the story that needs to be told. What about the story that needs to be remembered? Some stories are carried by people who live them, don't need to be written. Musk closed the tablet. Direct question. Were you in that compound on May 2nd, 2011? Silence stretched like a bridge neither was sure they should cross. Outside, night shift settled into rhythm. Future of transportation being built while past and present collided upstairs. Ryan looked down, then back up. Mr. Musk, there are 23 other men who were there. Some still serving. Some have families who don't know what they did. Some carry wounds that will never heal. And some are protecting billionaires in Austin. Some are trying to find different ways to serve. Is that what this is? Different service? Every day I keep you safe. You continue working toward Mars. Every day you work toward Mars, humanity gets closer to survival beyond Earth. That seems like service worth doing. Even hiding who you really are? Especially hiding who I really am. Musk picked up his phone, looked at deleted draft. When you saw this, what went through your mind? Some victories should be honored in silence. People deserve to know about heroes. Real heroes don't want to be known. Can I tell you something I've never told anyone? Of course. Building SpaceX, failing launch after launch, when everyone said impossible, I thought about people who did impossible things. Apollo astronauts, engineers who put them on moon, soldiers who fought wars so we could dream about stars, I used to wonder what meeting someone who'd done the impossible would be like. And now? Now I'm wondering if I've worked next to that person for 3 months without realizing it. History is changed by teams, not individuals, Ryan said. Abbottabad was months of planning, intelligence, training, dozens of people, multiple agencies. But someone had to pull the trigger. Someone did. Was it you? That's not a question I can answer. Can't or won't. Both. Musk walked to the window. Below, production continued endlessly. Robots and humans building the future. You know what's funny? I've spent billions making humanity multiplanetary so we can survive as civilization. The whole time, I've been protected by someone who may have already ensured our survival differently. Survival takes many forms, sir. Are you happy doing this job? Being anonymous, invisible. Happiness is luxury some people earn by ensuring others can pursue it freely. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I have. What if I wanted to do something for you? Recognition, compensation, different role? I already have everything I need, which is purpose, knowledge that my work matters, ability to serve without asking credit. If I wanted to tell your story, honor what you've done. Ryan shook his head. That would defeat the purpose. We, the men who were there, we promised to stay in shadows so the mission would speak for itself. But people should know. People know justice was done. That's enough. Musk pulled up security footage on his phone. Remember this day? Video showed Ryan walking through factory floor, then jumping to different angle. Watch your movement pattern. Footage showed Ryan escorting Musk when suddenly he stepped sideways, positioning between Musk and backing forklift. Operator hadn't seen them. Average reaction time, 1.5 seconds. You moved in 0.3 seconds. That's not normal reflexes. Ryan watched without commenting. Last month, inspection team visit. Video showed Ryan scanning visitors, eyes moving in specific pattern. You identified threat assessment protocol. 3 exit routes, 2 cover positions, clear sightlines to entrances. That's not security guard training, that's operator training. Situational awareness is important. This level is taught in very specific places to very specific people. Musk closed the app. I've been asking wrong questions. Not what you did, but why you're here. Why this job? Why me? Why now? After serving your country one way, you look for other ways to continue. Thousands of security jobs available. Why protect someone trying to get to Mars? Because getting to Mars might be the most important thing humanity does next century. You believe that? Your work could ensure human civilization survives beyond Earth. That seems worth protecting. So this isn't just a job. No, sir. It's a mission. Everything is a mission when you've learned to think that way. What if I failed? SpaceX failed, never got to Mars. You'd have failed honorably attempting something extraordinary, more than most can say. What about you? Find another mission worth supporting. Can I ask about the night itself? Not operational details, just how it felt. Ryan hesitated. Not sure that's appropriate, sir. I'm asking about human experience. Ryan looked at factory floor below. It felt like the end of something building for 10 years. Relief? Responsibility. We knew what we did would echo for decades. That weight. You don't forget it. Did you know you were making history? We knew we were finishing something that needed finishing. When you're responsible for something that significant, how do you return to normal life? You don't return to normal. You find new definition of normal. Is this your new normal? This is me using skills I developed in service of something constructive instead of destructive. Don't you miss the intensity, importance? Mr. Musk, when you've been responsible for ending a life, even one that needed ending, you spend the rest looking for ways to protect life instead. Is that what you're doing? Protecting life? I'm protecting the life of someone who might save all human life. Seems worthy use of my time. I've always thought about legacy in terms of technology, companies, achievements, never individual moments. One moment can change everything. One decision. One action. One shot. One shot? Ryan caught his slip. One choice. I meant one choice. When bin Laden was killed, was it quick? Ryan stared at him. Yes. Was he armed? He was reaching for a weapon. Were you afraid? Fear is luxury you can't afford in that situation. What did you feel? Completion. And afterward? Afterward, we came home. Some of us spent years trying to figure out what to do with the rest of our lives. Is that why you're here? Still figuring it out? I'm here because I found something worth protecting again. Me? What you represent. The future you're building. Whatever you did that night, I consider it an honor to know you. Thank you, sir. As long as you want this job, it's yours. I appreciate that. But if you want something different, something using more capabilities, I have other companies, projects. This is where I need to be. Musk pulled out secure tablet. SpaceX classified communications. I want to show you something few people have seen. He opened Project Red Dragon file, turned screen toward Ryan. Classified mission architecture for Mars, not public version, the real one. Timeline, crew selection, backup plans. Ryan looked but didn't reach for it. Know why I'm showing you this? No, sir. Because if what I suspect is true, you've kept bigger secrets, and I want you to understand full scope of what we're accomplishing. This is ambitious. It's impossible, just like what you did was impossible. What we did was extensive planning, training, intelligence. Exactly. Just like this will be. Musk closed the tablet. You said some victories should be honored in silence. Yes. What about future victories? Victories we haven't achieved yet? I'm not sure I understand. When we get to Mars, establish permanent human presence on another planet, that's victory for all humanity. It's happening because people like you made it possible for people like me to work without fear. Ryan processed this connection. When we plant that first flag on Mars, you'll be part of that victory. Not just as security detail, but as someone who helped ensure humanity could continue reaching for impossible things. That's not necessary, sir. It's not about necessary, it's about what's true. Musk looked at his phone again, the empty draft. You're right about the tweet. Some victories are better honored in silence. He deleted the draft completely. But when we do get to Mars, achieve the impossible again, will you consider that a mission worth completing? Ryan smiled slightly. First genuine smile Musk had seen in 3 months. Sir, getting you to Mars safely would be the greatest mission I could ever complete. Even greater than... different, but equally important. Musk stood, extended his hand. Then let's go to Mars together. Ryan stood and shook it. Yes, sir. As they shook hands, Musk noticed something. Small tattoo on Ryan's wrist, partially hidden by sleeve. Looked like coordinates. Ryan, those numbers on your wrist. Ryan glanced down, quickly adjusted sleeve. Old habit from navigation training. What do they represent? Ryan hesitated, then looked directly at Musk. The exact location where the most wanted man in the world took his last breath. You carry that with you? Every day. As reminder. Of what? That impossible missions are only impossible until someone completes them. The next morning, Musk arrived to find Ryan already at his post, as always. But something was different. The weight that had seemed to hang around Ryan seemed lighter. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Mr. Musk. Sleep well? Better than I have in years, sir. Walking through factory, Musk noticed Ryan's movement pattern had changed. Still professional, alert, but more relaxed. Last night, when you told me everything, how did it feel? Like setting down a weight I'd been carrying for 13 years. Good weight or bad weight? Necessary weight, but heavy. They stopped at Musk's favorite viewing platform overlooking entire production floor. Everything we build here is about the future. But last night was the first time I understood how much the past shapes that future. How so? Your past, what you did, skills you developed, mindset you learned, all contributing directly to humanity's future on Mars. I never thought about it that way. Neither did I, until last night. They watched orchestrated chaos of production below. Can I ask you something? Always.
Why Mars?
I understand technical reasons, survival arguments, but why is it so important to you personally? Musk leaned against the railing. Because we're living through a narrow window where interplanetary travel is possible but not guaranteed. We have technology, but might not have time. Time before what? Before something sets us back centuries. War, climate change, asteroid impact, social collapse, dozen ways civilization could end up in dark ages. And Mars would be insurance. Mars would be hope. Knowledge that even if Earth fails, human consciousness continues somewhere else. That's worth protecting. That's worth everything. Sir, I want you to know something. What I told you about that operation being the end of something building for 10 years? I was wrong. How so? It wasn't the end. It was preparation for the next mission. Which is making sure the person who can get humanity to Mars lives long enough to do it. Do you really believe Mars colonization is as important as counterterrorism? I believe long-term survival of human consciousness is more important than any individual threat. Even terrorism. Terrorism seeks to destroy civilization. Mars colonization seeks to preserve it forever, which has more lasting impact. Later that day, Musk was meeting with SpaceX engineers when his assistant knocked. Mr. Musk, you have a visitor. Department of Defense. Something about security review. Musk glanced at Ryan, who tensed slightly. Send him in. Man in 50s, gray suit, entered. Authority-bearing but trying not to show it. Mr. Musk, Deputy Director James Patterson, DoD Security Operations. Need to speak privately about personnel matter. Everyone else can leave. Ryan stays. Engineers filed out. This concerns your security personnel. Needs to be private. Ryan stays. Patterson looked uncomfortable. There may be misunderstanding about Mr. Mitchell's background. What kind? We've been monitoring irregular inquiries into classified personnel files. Inquiries tracing back to your security company. Musk felt chill. What are you saying? Sometimes when people dig into certain backgrounds, it raises flags. Ryan stepped forward. Sir, I should handle this. No, I want to hear what Mr. Patterson has to say. Patterson looked between them. Mr. Musk, some people's service records are classified for very specific reasons. When those records get attention, we have to investigate. Are you saying Ryan's background is fabricated? I'm saying Mr. Mitchell's actual service record is far more classified than what your security company was told. Ryan remained silent. What does that mean? Musk asked. It means, Ryan said quietly, that this conversation was always going to happen eventually. Patterson nodded. Mr. Mitchell, we need to discuss your current assignment. My current assignment is protecting Mr. Musk. And doing it well. But certain revelations require adjustments. Musk stepped between them. Gentlemen, I think we need to... At Musk. Sir, some stories don't end cleanly. But they do continue, Musk replied. And sometimes they lead to Mars. Patterson looked confused. Mars? Deputy Director, Musk said. I think it's time you understood the full scope of what we're protecting here. As the three men sat down for what would become a very long conversation about classified pasts and impossible futures, Ryan realized that some missions don't end. They just evolve into something bigger. Outside, the Tesla production line continued its endless work, building the future one car at a time, protected by a man whose past had just caught up with his present, but whose future was still being written among the stars. Some heroes kill the world's most wanted terrorist. Others protect the man who might save humanity. Sometimes, if you're very lucky, you get to do both. Have you ever met someone who carried more than they revealed? Share their story in the comments and subscribe to hear more about the hidden heroes shaping our future.